it is coming together, and I'm so excited. Like that gift, which you was like, I'm so excited. Deal pickles. It is Monday. I am in my studio and it's super late in the day. It's 7 p.m. and it's been a full day, but I didn't get like this morning recorded. So right now I'm dropping all the footage from last week. It's gonna be kind of dark because the sun's going down. I'm getting all the footage in from last week to see what we have for this vlog and what are my plans for this week. This week, I've decided I am going to get caught up on this challenge. That is number one, what I've decided. I'm not gonna tell you actually specifically about the shenanigans that I have planned, but it is going down. What else? I have usually when I have the back-to-back of deadlines and everything, that means I have client stuff to get caught up on. So I'm finishing editing a manuscript that I should have done by tomorrow. That's what I've been working on today. This morning from about 4:30 till about 12ish, around lunchtime, 12:30 or so. Actually, it's probably like 12:30. I worked on the saga, and y'all, I like had a huge breakthrough. Y'all, I should have said pardon what I got going on. Y'all, was working today. I had a huge breakthrough, and I told you all a little bit about it last week, where I just was working on things, and because I've started writing on it, it's like everything is starting to come together, and that's what makes me believe I can get this prequel done and into book 1 by just blocking off everything. This is the shenanigans I was talking about. I'm blocking off everything this coming weekend to get caught up. It was originally supposed to be the weekend of our retreat, but some things happened with one of our group members, and she can't come, and so we kind of decided to not have it, and we're going to change the date so that we won't exclude her. But what I've decided is I'm still going to do it. So that means I may not get, I don't know. I don't plan to do a whole lot of actual vlogging. I really plan to just bang it out. So to get caught up. So that's at the end of the week though. So that means between now and then, everything has got to be on point when it comes to client projects, getting those done. So that's going to be a lot of this week. I'm also hoping to work on the quilt, the pieces and everything that I had from the quilt class that I had on Saturday, which I shared in the last vlog. I pretty much, I think I did all of my strip piecing. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab it because I don't know how much more I'm going to get done. So let me show you what I got. Okay, so here's what we have. It was just easier than carrying it all the way over there. So here are the strip sets. I got all of the strip sets done yesterday. And I have most of the pieces cut out here. This is they vary from the left and right side. The way that I turn the template. Here's my template, which is Dying a Slow Death. And then here is with one of the finished blocks. Look, this is one of the finished blocks. Here are the rest of my kites, and I need to cut more of them. I don't have them all cut. And here's the template for the kite. It's in here. And I'm thinking about actually reaching out to someone to have these turned into real templates, because this is the bomb. It really is. And I have some plastic, and I might do it just with the plastic for now. Here are some of the strips that I have left over, and also some of the extra pieces, and I'm going to use those. So what I'm thinking about doing, I'm going to talk about this right now because I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to get done this week. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking those extras, because she did the quilt top plus a bonus quilt, and the bonus quilt uses the scraps. So what I think I'm going to do is use those scraps and make it a pieced backing, so that I can use a big chunk of everything that I have. The only downside is that I know I'm going to want to make this one again all of the colors I love, and that's going to be going to, I didn't say it before, but to my daughter. She wants a quilt for, she has like one of those big like scoop chairs in her room, and she wants a quilt to go in there, so when she's kind of chilling and relaxing and watching TV. So that's going to be her quilt top, and the colors work perfectly from when I did her colored quilt before, so it'll play off of that but not be as colorful. So it's gonna be amazing. Like, I'm really excited about finishing the top. It's just so pretty. And yeah, so I'm gonna use some of those extra for the border, and I'm gonna use it for a pieced back, and it's gonna be, you know, hopefully as beautiful in, you know, real life as I see it in my head. So that's what I have going on. I also, which I shared, I didn't bring it up, I'm working on the hat. I think the fact that it sounds like wind chimes as I am knitting just makes my soul happy. So I'm working on that, and that's what I worked on today while working on my writing. And I don't have a word count yet because I've been doing all of my writing so far pen to paper, because I was still working out some bits and pieces. And so today I was pulling together those bits and pieces, and then I still got a little bit more of the transcription that I need to work on. But yeah, like, y'all, it is coming together, and I'm so excited. Like that gift, which you was like, oh, I'm so excited. Okay, let me go for this to be on record that I'm crazy. So that is the plan this week. I'll be checking in. I will be working. You will probably get a lot of time lapse type of footage, because I will be banging it out when it comes to just working. So I will have a lot of computer work. Y'all, these backlogs are just tumbling down my neck, and it's driving me nuts. That's why it's piled up on top of my head. But that's it. The name of the game this week is get her done. Get her done. And make sure I have my snacks on deck for the weekend. Have my coffee on deck for the weekend, and get it in. And do the daggone thing. So let me go ahead and get off. I wanted to come on today. It's the top of the week. I hope that your week last week went well. Don't forget to go into the comment section and let me know what you're working on while you are watching this video. And I will be back to share more of my progress as we move through this week. It is Tuesday, and It's after 6 p.m. I think I got up this morning around 4. And so it's been a long day. And so what's going on is I'm preparing for this weekend. I think I told you all in the other clip. So I have 3 big client projects that are due this week. I'm cutting off my week on Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm just nothing. My primary focus is catching up on and exceeding. Actually, I'm going to claim this. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is going to be on writing and finishing the prequel for this saga. And so, and sometimes I find that, like, when I'm doing a lot of client projects, when it comes to the editing side, that it makes it hard for me to, it's really mentally draining. It's very draining mentally. So one of the things that I do is I take a lot of notes. These are all for client stuff. Take a lot of notes, and I try my best to give my head space, creative space. And what that means for me is I try to give it room to breathe. So, for example, I make sure that I take breaks, and I make sure that I do things where I can do mindless things, which is why the crafting helps, so that the story comes to me instead of me chasing the story. Another thing that I do is I take pads and pads of notes at this stage of the story for my story. So all of this is like on my story. And then the next thing is I have this huge, like, this is probably what I would call my own personal story Bible. Different notes and references and bits and pieces, and it's just, yeah. And I update certain little elements in there and little tools and tips and things that kind of keep me going. Another thing that I have is this really old notebook, and in here I just have a bunch of, I'm an elemental person in that I like knowing elements and the core bits and pieces of a task that I'm tackling, so that I can then make it my own. And that's kind of what this is, on top of having story ideas and just things that come to me. So yeah, I use these different references and tools to be able to help me facilitate the creative process, since I do it so much. And so yeah, that's what this entire day has been about. It's been about client projects. So I've had to do a lot of research today on Paris, South France, the Paris Fashion Week, and also, and then for another client, a lot of work on, I don't know how to say it to keep it. It's like a new adult book, like they're in college. And so just getting resources and stuff for that. And then the third project is an urban fiction type. So yeah, it's like a mixture, and I love it when it's like this, because each one of them have a very distinct place in my mind, especially because my story that I'm working on, I'm technically classifying it as a paranormal romance, just from what I've gathered. And so having that be a paranormal romance, a new adult college romance, which is technically a reverse harem, which we're not even going to get into. And then the urban fiction is off the chain. And then the other one is, it's romance, but it's like a mixture. It's like a women's fiction type of romance. and they're doing they're going to Paris Fashion Week. So yeah, like this is a part that is so exciting, but it's very draining because it's almost as if my brain is flashing on all cylinders, and it's like, oh, what about this, what about that, and then you think of characters and all this other stuff, and I have to find a way along with the client to pull all of these pieces and make all of those pieces cohesive and to make the story flow. And that's like where the zhuzh part come in. It's just a lot of work, and but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love researching. I always have, and that's a part of the word nerd in me, I guess. And so yeah, so today was a lot of reading preparation, and it will be a late night because I'm cutting off on Thursday so that this can go down. So what I'm about to do now, it's late, I have about an hour before we go for our evening walk, and I'm gonna spend this next hour on my own stuff, to work on my outline. I'm gonna be working on the transcriptions of those notes and also on these notes, and so yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun because I see it coming together and I'm itching to write it. And when I get to that stage, once I'm getting into that stage, it really flows and I'm starting to get there, so it feels good. As far as crafting is concerned, today has just been working on my knit hat. You won't be able to actually see much of a difference because I've only done a couple of rows. So I'm working on my knit hat on breaks, and yeah. So the last thing I kind of wanted to add here is, I was looking in the comments. I really would like to know, especially if you made it this far, I actually just don't know how I would do it. Like, I really want to do a reading for my book. It would be great if you guys supported my books. I showed you all the cover in the print version should actually be here today, but I showed you all the cover in the last blog, and I would like to do a reading, but I have to kind of warn you all that it is adult. So if you read romance, here's the cover. It's called Absolute Love, and it is, I love this couple. Let my stuff get thick. There we go. I love this couple. This particular series just kind of caught me off guard. We are doing 10 books in this year, all based on holidays, and I decided for my 10 books that I was going to make them a new series and connect the series. It's about 10 girlfriends that are building a business, and you are following each girlfriend on each book, and you get little mini updates on the rest of the friends. And so there has been a couple of the couples in there that I have hated that there is a word count kind of cap or window. What I usually try my best to do when I have a series is make all of them about the same word count, about the same length, about a similar or same structure, even though each of the issues and the relationship challenges are different. And for a lot of these, I made them a little bit different because usually in romance, well, not usually, a lot of romance is about, you know, the dude coming in to save the day, you know? And I wanted these to be very independent women that are financially secure on their own, yet there is still something missing. And so we've had one that was like this pamper princess, and she kind of kicked it off. We had another one who just had, you know, the worst luck when it came to men and guys really kind of leeching onto her because all of them are coming from a little of wealth at various levels. We've had this one is of a partner in a law firm.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
there we go, sorry, a partner in a law firm, and she meets a younger guy. And the question for me that I kind of wanted to just kind of tackle and play with was, you know, what do you do when the person that comes to you that you're connected with is outside of what you expect? And that's what I love to play with. And so here in playing with that, he's this younger guy. He seems a little bit more street than her. Not as in like street thug, but street as in he has a very commanding presence. He has a confidence about him. He is family oriented, and a lot of things that you would kind of expect of her because she's older. She is more established. He has in spades, whereas she's still trying to figure it out because of her upbringing. And so I loved writing this couple. I loved writing this couple, and I like all of them. Like, I love all of them, but there's just some where I feel like, oh, I wish I could write like 40,000 more words to really unpack. But yeah, so let me know. That was a long way of kind of talking about it. It is available right now. It's doing really well on Amazon, and so I'd love your support. I will put the link in the description area. But if you have Kindle Unlimited, the entire series is in Kindle Unlimited, which means you can start at book 1, which is Platinum Love, and go all the way through, or they are standalone books, so you can pick up any one and enjoy it. But I promise you, if you enjoy one, you're gonna want to read all of them. So go ahead, and you know, that's what you're just gonna do. But they are novellas, so they are great weekend reads. They are great, like if you just want to sit down with a glass of wine and just kind of put your feet up and just read. It will only take you a few hours, and I'd love to hear if any of you all read them and what your thoughts are. But no, they're steamy. This one is not as steamy as some of the others, but it is. So, you know, if it's gonna make you clutch your pearls, this one may not be for you. But that was one of the parameters of the set, was that they're steamy reads. And so yeah, I'm off. I have this hour to work on my stuff, and I'm going to do that now, work on notes, and I'm just going to work on the transcription since I only have 1 hour, so that I can print those notes up to add with these and really get my outline popping for Friday. Good morning. It is Thursday, and let me tell you how long of a week that I've had. I woke up this morning and I was a little salty because I could not find Miss Jenny. And if you know who Miss Jenny is from Missouri Star Quilt, Friday mornings, she is a part of my morning with my coffee. So that's usually my pass to take it a little. Let me back up. Going back probably, I guess, and I'm working a little bit while I do this. I would say probably going back about 10, no, probably like 15 years. Fridays have always been my off day. And we put that in place because we homeschooled, And while I'm talking to you guys, or you gals, I hope that you're working. I'm working on getting, every morning, I don't think I've ever said this. Every morning I run my different numbers for my publishing company just so that I can watch my ads budget and stuff like that. So anyways, about 15 years ago, maybe more, we put in place that Fridays were my off days. And what we did then, it was my husband and I made it my off days because I homeschooled throughout the week, and then usually on the weekends, you know, on Saturdays we had kids stuff, Sundays we had church, so it was just always this 7-day cycle that was nonstop. So Fridays was a day that I had off, and so my husband, when it came to the kids, would do any homeschooling stuff that the kids needed, and so we transferred any type of if they had tests or reviews or projects or independent work or anything like that, we moved it to Fridays because that was my day off, and my husband would oversee whatever needed to be done. And we just did that just for years. And then over, I don't know can't recall how long it's been. As they got older, it was my day to get up. I could sleep in a little bit, maybe sleep into like, I don't know, 7:30, sleep in a little bit, get up, drink my coffee, do my morning stuff, you know, watch Miss Jenny, which has been in the past probably more than a few years, because she's always, as long as I've known, posted her tutorials on Friday mornings. Technically, she does it overnight. So if you stay up late, she's actually posted the video. Anyway, so this morning I was so out of it. I got up this morning and I was like, Miss Jenny, is she taking a vacation today? Is she saying today is her off day? Because I did not get the memo. And so instead of, in my mind, watching Miss Jenny, I listened to like a day in the life or art process video or something, just because it was like a nice little steady chatter. And then I went to a podcast. Then it hit me, Dana, it's not Friday, it is a Thursday. And that is the kind of week that I am having. I worked last night or this morning until like 2:30 because I am getting these client projects done, because I am working this weekend to get caught up on this challenge. And so when I get in this mode, honestly, it's whatevs. It's whatever I need to do to get it done, and I still rest or whatever. So I laid down probably about 2:30 or 2:30ish, and I got up this morning around 7:30, had my coffee, did my stuff, and I'm sitting down to do this. I'm about to work on the newsletter, get the ads and stuff posted, and then I'm gonna get back on my client stuff. And y'all, I apologize because y'all getting the side of my face, but that's what I'm doing so that I can, you know, follow through and really get stuff done. And one of the biggest challenges that I'm having right now is honestly the fact that my projects are really picking up. My personal projects are picking up. So it makes it hard to take in client work, even though I really enjoy the client work. And so that's been something that probably this week that has just been one of those things that's unfolding again because of vlogging, because I'm talking about it. And also because I really like I got some stuff I want to do. So it's a little bit of a challenge. It's a challenge. But I'm fortunate that I've scaled back some. And when I scaled back to where I really primarily only have a few small projects and like 3 or 4 what I would consider like VIP clients that pretty much stay with me, have been with me for a while, and I consistently work for them every single week. For the most part, unless I'm traveling or something like that. And then when I'm traveling or whatever, because we are collectively ahead of our schedule for them, then that means I get wiggle room, and it's not that big of a deal because they're like really good clients. So that makes it easier. But I've been getting queries about adding more, and I'm not sure I want to. I want to, but I'm not sure I should. So I'm just praying about it. Coming in real quick. So on a break, I was working on cutting these little things. I'm gonna just call them triangles. I was cutting the triangles, and I did my count, and I don't know, I got mixed up, because when I did the strips, I was doing it based on roughly how many of the triangles I could cut from each strip. And I, in my mind, was thinking about them as individual blocks, but it really takes 2 to make a block. So 2 triangles and a kite make a block. So I have enough triangles to make half of what I need. So this means I have got to go back in and make more strips. So that'll be the task for today. I cut up everything that I had left, except for, like, I just had some pieces left, and I'm going to use these for the backing, so I'm not concerned about that. But I'm hoping I have enough strips to make more, because I have plenty, but I will need to cut up some more of the accent colors because I don't have as many of those cut. So I'm glad that I purchased the additional accent fabrics. So that's what I will be working on. Each strip roughly gives me around 6 to 7 blocks. Triangles. So yeah, I have right now, I'm so glad I stopped to count them. I have a total of 26 right now, and I need to make 27 blocks. So 27 and 27 is 54. BFFs. So, well, I guess I could look at it as I'm almost halfway there. I mean, so yeah. So I guess if that means I need 26 minus a 54 to 8, what's that? 28? Y'all, that's off the top of my head. I know that's not right. 8, 4, 2, 28. 28 more triangles. And if I get 6 per strip, that means I need roughly 5 strips. And The good thing though is since I did make the alterations to the template there, and now I know what the exact height is that I need to accommodate my alteration, I can make the strips almost dead on. So that's another good thing, and it's why I'm kind of getting almost an exact count. So that's a good thing. So that means I need to make 5 strip sets and take it from there. I am low-key freaking out. And I thought I'd do this for the vlog, not freak out, but capture it and do it in a different way. I'm sitting here and it's my morning time, and again, I hate repeating myself, but I have to, so it doesn't just look like total insanity. But I have to ensure that I do my morning quiet time when things get busy, or it goes from insane to absolutely freaking nuts. And this weekend was supposed to be my retreat, but the retreat got canceled because everybody couldn't come to the retreat. And so I just took the time and took the break to work and write, but nothing went as planned, except for I felt totally at ease, which is a good thing. But I think that's because I'm writing and the deadline is like 6 months away, which I'm noticing is really not a very good thing for me as far as trying to put fire under my feet, because it's so far away. And I have another book that is due at the end of this week, and I decided on a break to read it, and I realized that I want to make a huge, significant turn upside down, flip inside out change, and I have a week to do it. Oh. So at this point, I feel like, why? Why, Dana? Why do you do this to yourself? And I honestly just feel like I do it to myself. One, because obviously the pressure is my friend, I guess. But also because, people like us do things like this is all that I can think in my head. I don't know who people like us is, because I'm on an island alone right now. But it's this thing of, if you really want to live a particular life, how do you do that? You live it. I am a writer. And the more I write stories, and the more I publish stories, and the more I help authors with their stories, I affirm every single time that I am a writer. I am a creative. My imagination is sometimes limited but off the chain. And I love examining and understanding why people do what they do, and what are people thinking when they do what they do, and how can I give somebody a slice of, or a piece, or a moment, or hours of stepping away from their reality and stepping into another, that at the end, I hope it'll make you smile. Or at the end, I hope it will have your heart racing. And that's why I have to embrace the insanity. And so it doesn't make the pressure in my chest lessen by 1 ounce. It does not. But it just gives me the stick-to-itness, the moment, and gives me the time to say I totally failed at writing this weekend. I totally failed at getting caught up on the 100-day challenge, which is killing me. But dang, I'm not a quitter. Sometimes you probably should quit. But I'm not. And the reason why I'm not is because I wrote my first shifter scene this weekend, and it was bananas. Oh my gosh. And that's all I needed to do. I needed to know that this story is in me enough to give it justice, even though I have no idea what I'm doing. And that's it. I mean, it's it. So I'm off. I'm going to add this to my blog. And I'd love to know if this format kind of creeps you out or freaks you out in the middle of a video. But this may be what I need to do sometimes, because pulling out the camera is not always as feasible, and staring into my phone camera when I look like I've been writing all weekend, you're welcome. And today is the last day of the writing long weekend, and so I'm going to take it to work on this other story. It will be interesting though to see how many words total I get for the weekend between the two stories, and if I really do come close to hitting the original thought of hitting 50,000. And honestly, it may be that I just need to look at this 100-day challenge as writing the words versus being solely focused on the saga, because this saga has been way more work in preparation than I realized, even though I believe it's moving ahead really well. So, I'm off.